Honda just did the unthinkable. They brought the Prelude back. After more than 2 decades off the map, the name that defined affordable sport coupes in the 80s and 90s is rolling into 2026 with a brand new look and a hybrid twist. For anyone who grew up dreaming of VTEC redlines and slick-handling Hondas, this is one of those moments where history collides with the future. The new Prelude doesn't try to be a copy of the old car. Instead, it's a clean-sheet coupe with sharp lines, a wide stance, and just enough retro flavor to remind you of the legend. It's sleek, it's low, and it's instantly recognizable as something Honda built to get people talking again. This is Honda doubling down on what they've always done best, making cars that balance efficiency with excitement, daily comfort with genuine fun. The Prelude is back, and it feels like Honda wanted to prove a point. In a world obsessed with SUVs and crossovers, there's still room for a car that's built for the fans. The return of the Prelude doesn't just bring back a name, it introduces a completely new way of thinking about what a Honda coupe can be. Instead of a high-revving VTEC engine under the hood, the 2026 Prelude uses a 2-motor hybrid system paired with a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder gas engine. Together they produce just over 200 horsepower and 232 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers don't sound crazy on paper, but the delivery is what makes it exciting. Electric motors give you instant torque the moment you touch the pedal, and the gas engine keeps the power flowing as the speed builds. It's a mix of efficiency and performance that fits right into Honda's future-focused lineup. This choice makes sense when you look at where the car market is today. Full electric coupes aren't here yet in big numbers, and traditional high-performance engines are disappearing. Honda went with a hybrid because it keeps the Prelude relevant. It's efficient enough to deliver excellent fuel economy, but still sporty enough to make driving fun. For fans who loved the old Preludes, this is a big shift, but it's also a reminder that Honda has always been willing to evolve the formula when the times demanded it. Engagement was another big question. A coupe without a manual transmission risks feeling too bland, so Honda created something called S+ Shift. It's a system that simulates an 8-speed automatic controlled by paddle shifters behind the wheel. It gives drivers simulated gear changes with rev-matched downshifts, throttle blips, and even a bit of engine note pumped into the cabin. It's not a traditional gearbox, but it gives you the rhythm of shifting and the drama that's usually missing from hybrids. It's a way of keeping the car fun even as it leans into new technology. Beyond the drivetrain, Honda also borrowed some tricks from its performance halo, the Civic Type R. The Prelude benefits from dual-axis front suspension, which reduces torque steer and keeps the steering sharp when you're really pushing it. Adaptive dampers let you change the car's character at the touch of a button, from soft and comfortable on the street to firm and responsive on a back road. Larger brakes and a stiffer chassis make it clear Honda didn't just want this to be a stylish hybrid. They expect people to drive it hard and enjoy it. The big picture here is that the Prelude is trying to carve out a new niche. It's not just a throwback coupe, and it's not a pure sports car either. Instead, it's a hybrid that blends efficiency with excitement, built for the next generation of Honda fans. For longtime enthusiasts, it may feel different, but it carries the same spirit the Prelude always had. A car that balances practicality and performance in a way that makes sense for its time. From the outside, the new Prelude is unmistakably Honda, but it carries itself with a presence we haven't seen from the brand in years. The body is sleek and low, with sharp lines that give it a modern edge, while still nodding to the classic coupes of the past. The proportions are familiar: a long hood, a short rear deck, and a roofline that flows smoothly into the tail. It's the kind of silhouette that instantly reads as a sports coupe, even in a market dominated by SUVs. Up front, the wide grille and slim LED headlights create a bold first impression. Honda leaned into simplicity here. No oversized vents or over-designed details, just clean shapes that echo the purposeful look of the old Preludes. Along the sides, strong character lines run from nose to tail, emphasizing motion even when the car is standing still. At the back, the full-width taillight bar ties the design together with a futuristic touch, while the rear bumper keeps things sharp and athletic without going over the top. The chassis underneath is just as important as the styling. Honda based the Prelude on elements from the Civic and Accord platforms, but it's been strengthened and tuned specifically for this coupe. Engineers focused on rigidity, adding reinforcements that make the body more stable in corners and under braking. That stiffness pairs with the adaptive suspension to give the car both composure on a back road and comfort for daily use. Honda also borrowed hardware from the Civic Type R. Dual-axis front suspension keeps the steering precise and helps tame torque steer, while upgraded brakes give the car serious stopping power. Combined with its low stance and wide track, the Prelude is set up to feel balanced and responsive, more of a grand touring coupe than an all-out sports car, but one that still knows how to handle itself when the road gets interesting. Overall, the design and chassis work together to create a coupe that feels purposeful. It's stylish without being flashy, functional without being boring, and clearly engineered to bring Honda's performance DNA into a new era. Inside the new Prelude, Honda kept the focus on the driver while bringing the cabin up to modern expectations. The cockpit feels clean and purposeful, with a layout that puts the most important controls within easy reach. A fully digital 10.2-inch gauge cluster sits directly in front of the driver, offering customizable displays that range from simple readouts to more performance-oriented layouts. Next to it is a 9-inch central touchscreen running Honda's latest infotainment system, with Google built in, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto support. The seats strike a balance between comfort and sport. They're low-slung and supportive in the right places, trimmed in leather with contrast stitching that gives the cabin a subtle premium vibe. Honda even brought back a little heritage detail with optional houndstooth pattern inserts, a nod to older Preludes without going full retro. Practicality wasn't forgotten either. The Prelude is a 2+2, which means the rear seats aren't spacious, but they can fold down to expand the cargo area. That makes this coupe more versatile than many rivals. It's not just a weekend toy, it's something you can live with day to day. Tech features go beyond the screens. An available Bose audio system adds some punch, while Honda's suite of driver assist systems, including adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist, comes standard. The idea here is to blend modern convenience with the classic appeal of a sporty coupe. Overall, the interior feels like a thoughtful mix, modern tech, subtle nods to history, and enough practicality to remind you that Honda knows how to make fun cars usable. It's not as raw as the Civic Type R, but it doesn't need to be. The Prelude is aimed at being comfortable, stylish, and engaging all at once. The return of the Prelude has been met with a mix of excitement, curiosity, and a little controversy. For longtime Honda fans, just seeing the nameplate back after more than 2 decades is enough to stir up nostalgia. The styling has drawn praise for being sleek and modern without losing that classic coupe shape, and many see it as a welcome alternative in a market flooded with crossovers. But not everyone is convinced. The biggest talking point has been the powertrain. Enthusiasts who grew up with high-revving VTEC engines were hoping for another screaming 4-cylinder or something closer to the Civic Type R's setup. Instead, Honda delivered a hybrid with simulated shifting. Some fans appreciate the forward-thinking approach and the instant torque that comes with electric assistance. Others see it as too tame, especially when cars like the GR86 and MX-5 Miata still offer lightweight manual-driven fun. Early impressions from journalists put the Prelude somewhere between a grand tourer and a traditional sports coupe. It's not chasing lap times like the Civic Type R, but it's also not pretending to be a luxury car. Instead, it carves out a middle ground, stylish, comfortable, and sporty enough to remind drivers why Honda coupes used to be such a big deal. Online communities reflect that split. Some fans are already calling it the perfect daily driver coupe, praising its efficiency, tech, and practicality. Others are disappointed by the lack of a manual and think it's too heavy compared to rivals. What's clear is that people are talking about it, and that alone proves the Prelude name still has power. In short, the reception has been mixed but passionate. For every critic who thinks Honda played it safe, there's another fan who's just glad to see a new Prelude on the road in 2026. And that level of energy is exactly what Honda was aiming for. The Prelude's return is more than just another new model, it's a statement. At a time when most automakers are doubling down on SUVs and EV crossovers, Honda decided to bring back a coupe, and not just any coupe, one of the most beloved names in its history. That choice says a lot about where Honda's priorities still lie. They haven't forgotten the fans who care about driving, about styling, and about cars that feel special behind the wheel. No, this isn't the same Prelude that stormed through the 80s and 90s. It's not chasing the old formula formula of high-revving engines and lightweight simplicity. Instead, it's a new interpretation for a new era: hybrid efficiency, modern tech, and performance hardware pulled from Honda's best. For some, that shift will take getting used to, but for many, it's proof that Honda hasn't lost its touch. They've simply adapted. What makes the 2026 Prelude exciting is that it gives Honda fans something to rally around again. It looks the part, it feels purposeful, and it offers just enough practicality to work as a daily while still being a car you want to drive for no reason other than fun. It may not please everyone, but it doesn't have to. The Prelude has always been about balance, and this version carries that spirit forward. In the end, the Prelude's return is a win for enthusiasts. It shows that even in 2026, Honda still knows how to build cars with heart.